I was already acting as a kid. As I told you before, I was poorly acting. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew I was having fun, just pretending to be in these crazy stories.
What? Take a look around you, man. It's worthless. Whatever. Let's go.
And then, I mean, I've had some people who literally killed it right off the bat. Like, it's just, I guess they were just born with it or something, but
they're still probably not landing literally every single role.
No, for sure not.
Every actor goes through rejection.
100%.
Sack of dirt, not a hair to be found.
Said he took pride in it. Guess his pride doesn't extend to inside the house. Boxes and boxes of photos.
Why am I doing it to begin with?
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of the false energies towards a creative field is I am doing it to become famous or make money.
Right.
If you are trying to do something like art to make money for the purpose of making money and your only job is to make money, you are insane.
Oh, this is fucking bullshit! We should have never come here! This is all.
What I am trying to do is make sure that whatever is actually driving you should be something that's
more meaningful.
Meaningful because it's insatiable.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it has to be a fire that can never be quenched.
Lastly, we've now had the pleasure officially. I'm Roger Stone. This is Paul Manafort.
Oh, yes. What a pleasure.
The main thing in your way is yourself.
Yes.
And is your fear of something going wrong.
I agree.
But you can't know the opportunity you're going to have unless you accept failure too.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back with another episode of Breakthrough in the Montreal Christmas edition.
Yeah.
Well,
Christmas trees.
Yeah, right off the bat, Merry Christmas, everyone. I know it's a bit early, but you know, just wanted to put it out there in case I forget to say it later on in the pod.
Yeah.
But we have a very cool guest for you guys today. This is someone that we were supposed to do like an interview together back in summer, but I think I had to fly back to Vancouver early.
Travel things were happening.
So schedule-wise didn't work. But we have Alex Gravenstein in the house, everyone. How's it going, Alex?
Hi, good. How are you, Ali?
It's good, bro. Good to have you. Thanks for coming and for, making some time.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Anytime, dude. Anytime. So right off the bat here, let's just dive in and so why don't you just like take us through your debut, I guess, as an actor? Because I know like we were getting talking, you and I, before this, and you were telling me that turns out we're both like studying engineering.
Yes.
Funny enough, we both did mechanical.
And we high-fived right after that.
Yeah. Which is crazy. But just like take us back to like, I guess like the engineering days and then what led to you wanting to be an actor.
The engineering days.
Yes. We're going to go there.
We're
doing it.
Yeah, well, I guess the really quick rundown.
Yeah.
The really quick rundown is I was already acting as a kid. As I told you before, I was poorly acting. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew I was having fun, just pretending to be in these crazy stories.
Right.
And when I started studying engineering, I still enjoyed doing theater. I actually didn't do anything in film or anything like recorded until the end of my engineering degree. So when I was at McGill, I was pretty much one of the only engineers who was actually doing theater, and I was doing 2, sometimes like 3 plays a semester.
Yeah.
Just for kicks.
Do you know Praneeth Akila by any chance?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. It's funny enough, he literally was in a very similar position as you, but he may have gone to McGill later. Shut up, Praneeth. And Praneeth is like, we also shot an episode a couple weeks ago, so.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, no, Praneeth, good
also
friend.
An actor?
Yes, good.
Engineers and actors?
Yes, we're all like in the engineering, Praneeth is a guy that I met in Vancouver, a good friend of mine. He also went to McGill, and believe it or not, he did, was it chemical? One
it's not mechanical,
chemical engineering or something like that, but it was one of the engineerings.
Yeah.
And then same thing, like he was involved in, not sure if it was like community theater or something, but he was involved into theater as he was going to school.
Awesome.
And so that kind of reminded me of Praneeth as you said that.
Yeah. So it wasn't until after engineering or as it was wrapping up, that's when I started getting really interested more in the arts and everything. I added a minor in psychology in like my last year and a half at McGill.
Might as well throw it in, you know. Like
Well,
we were already in school. Let's just throw it in a minor in psychs. You
well,
know?
I mean, honestly, it was a breath of fresh air because I finally got out of just like endless formulas
Yeah.
and writing mathematical proofs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But what was nice about it was with engineering, especially mechanical engineering, you understand how the world works and why, from
I agree.
microscopic to macroscopic.
Yes.
And with psychology, I started at least dipping into how humans work and how
Right.
the brain works.
Yes.
From the microscopic to the macroscopic.
Right. So you really found the both of both worlds, I guess.
That's what
The best of both worlds.
Exactly. And it was around that time that my friend Dan Barish, this very creative, energetic, like high octane filmmaker. Like
Yeah.
when he wants to make a film, he's just like, "Yep, we're gonna find a way. We're gonna shoot it. We're gonna do this, run and gun."
Right.
He was like, "Hey, Alex, do you want to be in a short film with me?" And I'm like, "I don't know how to do film acting, but heck yes, I
Yeah.
do."
Well, I'm open to try. Like.
And after that is what got me into the professional realm, if that
Interesting.
makes sense.
Right.
To answer your question finally.
Right. And then, so correct me if I'm wrong. 2012 is when you graduated. So you said like you were like, and then when did you do the psych minor?
That was in the same year. Or
Same-
sorry, as I was graduating, like before I graduated.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you got like okay, like kind of like around the same time. Got you. So 2012 is when you started like like your buddy reached out. Is like, hey, let's do the short.
Yeah, it was probably maybe 2011, 2012. I
20.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you, like, what's the extent of your role in that short? Like, did you have like a lead role on that?
Well,
or-
I mean, I think we shot three, maybe four short films together.
Okay.
And he was putting me as like, I mean, they were always like small cast, 2 or 3 people, so everyone was a lead, in them
Right.
regardless.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And after that, when I started seeing what the filmmaking process was like, because I was used to theater at this point, and when I saw what filmmaking was like, and
Yeah.
like, sure, I've actually already been an editor at that point.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
editing just for kicks. I was
Yeah.
shooting things. It wasn't like story-driven narratives that I was shooting. I was just shooting stuff for fun.
Yep.
So I was already comfortable with editing for like 5 or 6 years.
Right.
I was already somewhat comfortable with cameras, and
Yeah.
when I actually got to act in it and being there and just focusing on that,
Yeah. Right. That was
dude, I loved it.
game changing.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't look back. So then
Right.
I spent like a couple of years of just like making sure it's what I really wanted. I was only slight dabbling into it, and then at some
Right.
point I got into another couple of films. Met one of my good friends, Kenny
Yeah.
Wong, and
I
from
think
then on,
I think I've heard of him. Haven't met him yet, but I've heard of him.
You will.
Kenny Wong. What
Sounds
is?
so ominous.
Did he go to Strayon by any chance? Was that him?
He did.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. I think.
That's where we met. Actually, sorry, that's where we continued to meet. We met on a short film that we shot at Trebas.
Nice.
And he was doing Strain at the time, which was called something else back then. And he
Yeah.
was like, hey, you should check out this acting class. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then after the first day I went, I'm like, that's
Dude.
where I need to go.
Sick. Way to go.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, as a matter of fact, I'm actually like taking a class with them because I'm like, I've never. I told you like the last class I took in Montreal was in 2018.
Yeah.
When I left, and I was like, you know what, I'm in December. Like I'm back here for December. I'm like, might as well. Just love acting, love performing. So,
Yeah.
I'm in class now with ISA, and
Yes.
Isabel
Fantastic.
seems amazing so far.
She's
So,
amazing.
Yeah, no, she's great. So you started doing these shorts with your buddy, and then you started loving it. But then what happened with psych and engineering? Like was that like did you X them out completely? Like they were just like no longer in the picture, because I mean,
Yeah.
so like what happened with that?
What happened with that, Ollie? Good question. I feel like throwing it back at you
Yeah.
too as well. So as I was telling you before we started rolling,
Mm-hmm.
the engineering degree, what I really appreciate about it is it gave me a sort of framework for understanding problem solving
Yeah.
and approaching complex tasks
Mm-hmm.
and being able to break it down into like the minutia and find a way to get the result that you want.
Yeah.
So I had already liked problem solving. Engineering sort of helped amplify that and add a bunch of
Interesting.
amphetamines to it, for lack of a better
Yes.
word.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated and everything, I just started taking the practice of the idea of mathematical proving and whatnot,
Right.
and continuing to use that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So to be more succinct, the only way that I really deal with engineering now is with coding. So I do just
Same.
very, I
Same,
just,
dude. Because I have I don't know if I told you, but I have a business now. Like I sell stuff on Amazon. I have like
I did not know that. Awesome.
yeah. That's kind of like my bread and butter actually. Like that's how I keep myself afloat.
Whoa, sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, so
but-
I started coding, and that's pretty much the main way that I stick with engineering at
Keep
this
some
point.
sort of touch with that. Yeah, same.
it, though.
It's actually the same thing. Like literally same exact story for me. I no longer work as an engineer, but with my business, we automated a lot of the.
That's where it is. It's all about automation.
Yeah, we automated it. So like it's a lot about like programmings and whatnot.
Yeah. That's what I made. So
Crazy,
I made a system like most recently, just a couple months ago. I finally released a website where I handle all of my bookings.
Yeah,
So it keeps track of all my different calendars. It says how many hours I'm going to work per day, per week, per clients, and automates all the emails too. So
Yeah. Way to go.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm actually like, I don't know if I told you that, but I'm trying to, we're going to try to do something different with my podcast. Cause like, I mean, I've been doing this for a year. I started this back in December.
Yep.
And the reason why I called it Breakthrough, okay, is because I wanted to inspire some people to take some actions, whether that's in their artistic careers, in their financial careers, like wherever. And then sometimes, by having a guest who's, doing it or done it, whichever. Then it might inspire some people to, just like be like, hey, okay, yeah, like this guy is clearly doing it. Like, so I'm like, why can't I do it? You know what I mean? So that's
You can do it.
you can.
You can do it.
Remember that clip from Shia LaBeouf? Like, am I saying this right? Shia
LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
I can never get this name
a lot
right,
of
man.
vowels in that name.
Where he's like, you can do it. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it was like, oh,
getting
this-
all like aggressive with the camera and everything. But it's completely right. Like
It is.
He's completely
It's
right. Like
spot on. Yeah.
The main thing, I'm gonna probably sound like him already. The main thing in your way is yourself,
Yes,
and is your fear of something going wrong.
I agree.
But you can't know the opportunity you're gonna have unless you accept failure too.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's exactly it, Gretzky.
Well, Gretzky.
Yeah,
The great one.
yeah. I use it all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so I was just saying, like, I want to do something different where, I mean, breakthroughs can be in many forms. Again, it doesn't have to be something like a lead or like something big or like any win is a win. Like, there's no such thing as a small win.
I mean, I was gonna say failures are wins too.
Yes,
Big
they're
failures can
wins.
be
Yeah, you
breakthroughs.
learn something, and then that allows you to just keep going and then do better and whatnot. So, but I also want to focus on. I want to make my episodes more on the moment where things really changed for you, right? Because obviously, like, I'm sure that things have like I don't know, like if you like as the average actor probably like faced a lot of rejections in the beginning, and so you get the one first yes. So,
I would actually
how
say
long
probably
it took
most
you?
actors face
Yeah.
rejection usually.
Yes, and then I mean I've had some people who literally killed it right off the bat. Like it's just like I guess they were just born with it or something. But
they're still probably not landing literally every single role.
No,
they
no,
do.
no,
So
for sure
every
not, but-
every actor goes through rejection.
100%.
Annually.
And yeah, I know, 100%. And like it's taken me years to even just book my first credit. Like that's and I've seen people who literally just within a month they're already on Netflix. I'm like,
Yep. Yeah, it's like
crazy. Like it's just
It's like I hate you. I love you. That's great. I hate you. Yeah.
literally. So why don't you take us through? So how did it go for you? Like you started acting. You said that you got your first agent in 2015, 2016?
I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
I'm with Sandy Martinez.
Right.
It was somewhere between 2012, 2015. I can't
Okay,
remember.
so you've been with her for like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was somewhere in that realm. I just can't remember.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the way that I started off, we were talking about this too, is like
Yeah.
you had no clue. It's like
No.
you knew that the idea that you wanted to do acting, but you didn't know how to get into it. And it was the same for me.
Same, yeah.
I was just literally Googling it, like, how do I become professional actor?
Right.
And it's like, oh, agents, headshots, demo reels. I'm like, okay.
Cool.
My friend had a camera. He took some random pictures of me in my living room.
Called it
Exactly.
Called it a shot.
Those were my headshots. My demo reels was from those shorts that I shot with my friend Dan Barish back in the day.
Right.
And then I put in some like theater parts here and there.
Right, that got you in. That was good enough.
That was my demo reel. And then I had 2 monologues memorized, like old school days.
Right.
Where one
Like
was
Shakespeare monologues or like okay.
I mean, actually, technically 3. I had 1 Shakespeare, 1 dramatic, and 1 comedic.
Sick.
So I had 3 monologues memorized just in case.
Yeah.
And then I started just trying to research agents, which is much harder than you'd expect.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a list of like 12. I tried to approach every single one in person. Got rejected by every single one in person except for 2.
Okay.
Including my current agent and another one.
Yeah.
Both of them fantastic agents. And then after I met with them, I did my monologue in person with both of them.
They made you do it, or you just pitched,
offered.
you pitched it? Okay,
I
you offered. Yeah.
I'm like, hey,
like, I'm already off book.
it was a bit of my that brash younger spirit. You know, where you think you can do anything.
I love that, man.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, if you want to do a monologue, heck yeah, I'll stand up and do this monologue right here in your office. And I did it, and they're like, yeah, I mean, like I like the energy you're working with. I like what we're seeing in the demo reel, and they're willing to accept me. So then I was in the very fortunate position to have to find out how do you choose an agent after that.
Yeah. Interesting. So was there like a moment where you thought that you were not good enough for this?
I
guess like probably every day.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
So I guess like, which begs the question, why haven't you given up already?
A fantastic question. And I will retort that with another one is why would I give it up?
Right.
And that question has to go with why am I doing it to begin with?
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of the false energies towards a creative field is I am doing it to become famous or make money.
Right.
If you are trying to do something like art to make money for the purpose of making money and your only job is to make money, you are insane.
Yeah, no, that's great. I say this every episode.
Yeah.
If you're in it because you're trying to get famous or you're trying to make money, bro, you're in the wrong field, man. Like, there are some easier ways to get there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably better off like being an influencer, like a creator, like, you know,
hands down the
Instagram and TikTok, you'll go viral in a day.
Easiest
like,
way to
people
get
will know
famous. Get a job that's going to pay you well.
Yeah.
Use that money to buy something that's going to make you famous.
Yeah.
Whether it's like someone else who just puts you on like influencer programs or whatever it is.
That being
that's
said,
the easiest way.
Alex, that being said, bro, like I gotta say something, because it sounds crazy when you put it that way. Like, oh, like, you know, obviously I'm not here to be famous. I'm not here to make money. Like, I just love the craft. Yeah. But they're also on the other spectrum. Like, there are some people who are doing this because they want to be famous. And guess what? I did meet someone who was like that at some point in my journey. And, you know, like they straight up asked him, like, hey, like, why you want to be an actor? I was like, I want to be a star. I want to be famous. I want to make it to Hollywood, which is
respectable.
Respectable.
Yeah.
And guess what? Sometimes, like, when you want something really badly, well, it does happen.
Yeah.
And he did make it happen. He's killing it. He's in the States and he's killing it.
Yeah.
So again, there's no such thing as like dream big, right?
Well, so, I mean, absolutely dream big. I'm not trying to get rid of that. I'm just what I'm trying to do is make sure that whatever is actually driving you should be something that's
more meaningful.
Meaningful because it's insatiable.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it has to be a fire that can never be quenched.
I agree.
Because if you're looking at the idea of being famous and then you're met with constant rejection, which
you
will be as a performer, you will be. We should know this.
Totally.
And for some reason, people get caught off guard when they're not landing roles all the time. It's like, that's A, statistics, and B, just the craft.
I agree. And like, I think just to tie the knot to what you're saying, I say this a lot to my friends as well too. Like, I was like, ask yourself this question: are you okay? Like, if I were to tell you that you will never book a single role in your entire life, would you still keep doing this?
It's a great question.
If the answer is yes, then you're probably in it for the right reason.
Yeah,
because
I would say you absolutely are in there for the right reason already.
Right?
If you're not doing it to book.
Yeah. So like, if I told you, like, you know, I saw through your future, I know what's gonna happen. You will never book anything, but do you want to still keep going?
Yeah.
Right. If the answer is yes, you're doing this out of love, out of something really that means something to you, because like you're not really like desperate for something, like, you know what I mean? So
that's what I mean by that dream big thing.
Yeah.
So if people are doing the dream big, I'm going to do it to be famous, they're met with rejection, and it is not an insatiable source of drive that's in there.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, as you know, is they get the rejection, they get the failure,
Yeah.
they start beating themselves up, they start blaming the outside world or blaming themselves.
Yeah.
Both of them are equally bad.
Totally.
And then you end up getting this huge negative spiral where it's not going to work because you came in with a reason that's not supportable or sustainable.
Yeah.
And then you weren't able to deal with that anyway. You weren't able to deal with the repercussions.
100%.
But if you go in it for what you're saying is, I see myself doing it regardless of my outcome, that is practically by definition insatiable, unquenchable.
Yeah, 100%. And if anything, inspirational, because you're like, I mean,
All the
I don't know a lot of people like I don't know a lot of people who would actually be like, oh yeah, no, if you tell me that I'm not booking anything, I'm out of here, bro. Like I'm not sticking around for this.
Yeah.
Because we do like attribute so much, what's the word? So much focus, I guess, to results.
Yep.
You know, we have a tendency to like kind of like.
Yeah, we put way too much weight on it.
Yeah.
We give it too much power over us.
Totally.
And by getting rid of that is actually the foundation for success.
100%. 100%.
But just to quickly finish off that question.
Yeah.
Picturing myself doing anything else, and I've even gently tapped into it. As soon as I'm trying anything else, my brain immediately goes back to, man, I really wish I was acting right now.
Right.
So
that's when you know, like, okay, like I'm in the right space.
Yeah.
I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah. So like I do these other stints, which are like still generally in the field.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing that, I'm like, boy, do I really wish I could be acting right now.
Right. Like, yes, I agree. I hear you, man. I feel the same.
And that's why. And yes, I doubt myself on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard industry, and then I keep on looking at the results. But then I also know the truth is, even if I'm trying to measure it against the person that I think I want to be, I'm never going to be that person anyway, because that's the definition of motivation, is always being a better version of yourself, so to speak.
Yeah.
So if I'm always driven back to just doing the acting anyway, then c'est la vie.
Yeah, c'est la vie. No, I agree. And I was like chatting with Andrea Kenyon, casting director. Our episode is going to air soon. Like, fantastic lady. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more, right? Like, it's because like when you start doing this out of something that really means something, like out of something like, you know, deep within, you also start to be less desperate on camera. I mean, the amount of times where like I'm seeing taste and I'm like, I'm not like, I don't usually criticize anyone, but like sometimes I'm like watching my own taste and I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I pushing so much? I'm like, just fucking say the line, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like...
I'll go ahead and just straight up say it.
Yeah.
I worked in casting for a little bit, for a handful of years.
Yeah.
I helped out with casting on like independent projects too.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of the tapes that we see are ones from people who look like they're trying to get the job.
You can just sense it. You can just sense it. You can just sense it. And you can also sense the people that are like, wow, this guy really does, like, he's just having fun. Like, he's going wild. He's like, he doesn't care, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can sense that.
And then all of a sudden, you get these people from the outside. You're like, wait, why are they getting the parts? They didn't get the lines right.
Yeah.
And then it takes some people years to realize that the point of the audition isn't to get the lines right. It's not to show your full range of emotion. It's not to show how well you can act. That's not the point of the audition. The point of the audition is to go back to what you were saying before the cameras were rolling, which is, how do you get something that's so engaging that it brings the audience with them? You were talking about being that kid playing make-believe back in the day.
Yeah.
And if you just shape your make-believe scenario to fit the scene, that's what they want to cast.
Yes.
Because that's what's going to engage the audience and drive their story forward.
Totally. Because like you're not trying to play all your cards in the audition, because you want them to be like, okay, I mean, I gotta cast this guy because I need to see what else.
Leave them wanting more.
Yes, exactly, right? Like you want to leave them wanting more because they're like, yo, listen, like if you want to cast someone else, I'm fine with that, but you'll be missing out on just what you just watched. So that's what you want to leave them thinking, that they're missing out by not casting you. And the only way to do that is just, you know, by giving them like just, you know, having fun.
Yeah.
The audience will only have fun when you have
the
fun.
story, but yes.
Yeah, totally, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I see sometimes like people just throw all their energy against the wall, so to speak, to see what sticks. And that can't work because that's not story work.
Yeah.
That's just them expositioning all of it.
Totally.
But if you're completely committing to that moment, to that now, to that presence, and giving into it, that's going to win.
Yeah, no, totally. So, how quickly did you see results? I guess like if you did see them. So I guess like what was the journey like for you when you started with your agent? Did it take you a couple of years to see anything, if you did see something? And I guess like, where do you see this all going?
Yeah, but I mean, this is where it gets really tricky, because you also asked me about breakthroughs and where's my breakthroughs. Getting my agent was only a tiny breakthrough.
Yes.
Even the thing before that, realizing that I wanted to pursue it, was still a life-changing breakthrough.
Of course, yeah, yeah. It's
And
a lot of them.
getting my first part, of course, was also its first breakthrough. But even when we get each one of these steps, as I'm sure that you know, as well as everyone who's watching this right now, you are never satisfied with the thing that you get after you get it because it's not enough.
Yeah.
You're going to say, oh, it's nice that I got to level A, but you know what I really want is I actually want to be level B.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't notice that until you're actually at that level A.
That's
Sometimes you don't know that in the beginning.
That's my job as a coach. A lot of the time is just reminding people of where they came from when I first met them, and saying, I know you don't realize this because you're on the inside of you, but I'm on the outside and I pay attention to these things.
Yeah.
When you first came with me versus where you are now, if you can just watch back a take from any of our scenes, you should see a remarkable difference.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to see it when you're inside of it.
True. Yeah, it's so difficult because you think you're sensing it, you think you're seeing it, but like from an outside lens, like someone might be like, oh, okay, like it's you know,
And that's why it also becomes so powerful for the idea of just writing down what you want your goal to be. Like you can have your big Hollywood goal written down, but also all the other ones are like, okay, what are the actual steps to do on the way to get there?
Yeah.
And then you get to see the progress you're making in the end. So the next sort of breakthrough, when I feel like I was more in it, is literally every single breakthrough that I had, because then my bar raised again. So after that was I got my first part that was non-union, and then I got my first part that was union, and then I got my first speaking role as union. Then I got my first thing that was filming, like it had more lines. Then I had something that was a bigger production value. And then I started understanding the audition process better. And then I started understanding story work. And then after that, I started finding that I could be much more competitive. And then I got my first video game role.
Right.
And then I got like my first larger role. You know what I mean? Like every single one of those is telling me that I'm in it. But even if you ask me now, would I say I'm in it? I would say no. I happen to have more experience than the average performer out there, which I'm very thankful for. But I am still nowhere near the level that
of course
I want to be.
Yeah, no, 100%. You always want to be in a position that you're always like, striving for more, and then you want to keep growing. Like you're never like it's also the same concept when you think about it. Like as an entrepreneur or as any person, like you always want to be looking for like, what more can I do? How more can I grow? Yeah. As a person. So I guess like, did you face a lot of rejections in the beginning before you started like seeing like a booking?
Well, I mean, as we kind of talked about before, it's like I still get rejections, just like everyone does.
No, 100%.
The rejection flavor ended up being very different. It's like sort of a gradient over time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So at first it was because, like, honestly, I was very green. I was very new to it.
Yep.
I was aiming more for how much I want the job and showing I can act, everything that we talked about.
Yep.
And it took me in a large number of embarrassing years to realize that the version of what I thought confidence was in the audition room is not actually confidence in the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
And that's something that I also developed much more as a coach. So this is where that little bit of a psychology dip I did in McGill ends up pushing, comes in clutch, and ends up giving like compounding returns after that.
Yeah, yeah.
So the failures that I got early on were coming from my point of being the ignorant artist.
Right.
And the failures I get now are usually like, they make a lot more sense for the most part. Like some of them, like I'm still an artist. I still have a creative, gentle spirit that I need to nurture and everything. Yeah. But it's like the rejections I get now, it's like, I totally get it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not right because of the energy. It's not right because of the logistics.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's also not right because of your looks. Like,
but that's what I mean. I put that under logistics.
Sometimes it's not even like you're acting or anything. Like
it could be location because of where you're paying taxes. It could be shoot schedules changing and you just don't have those same avails. It could be they're looking for someone with a different CV.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be like someone's having a bad day, and then your take was like happened to have been seen by this guy when he was having the worst day, and like, you know what? Maybe your take was unbelievably good, but like they didn't have a bad day, so like you just wrong time, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
You just never know. So I guess like it's fair to assume that the moment that things changed for you is when you started when you stopped being that sort of like ignorant actor, like you said, or if we were to pinpoint, what changed?
It literally is 5 equal points. Like I can't pinpoint it because each one was world changing to me. It's like the 5 epiphanies that I had.
Right.
And each one was like absolutely game changing.
Yeah, equally as much. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I was actually on the phone with my agent at the time. Thanks, Sandy, for like 2 of them are going on. And I even told her like,
Right.
Sandy, I'm seeing things in a brand new way right now.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that a year later I'd be having that same conversation with a different,
Yeah.
brand new way.
Yeah.
That I'd never looked at the same thing.
Yeah. No. Totally.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about just real quick about, I guess, the acting process as a whole. So, what do you like? I mean, there's obviously like a lot of different ways to do this, and there's no right way to do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess from the moment where you get an audition, what happens? Like, what do you do with it? How much of it is like script work? When do you start memorizing? When do you start taping? Like, let's say the audition is also calling for some sort of like, let's say something big is happening in the scene. Maybe you're losing someone. It's asking for a lot of being vulnerable and being raw and all that. Like, how do you like map it all out before you tape it?
So in general, anytime that I'm getting an audition, my first goal is to try to experience whatever the sides is as a fun story.
Okay.
A lot of other people, and this is something I had to train myself out of, and once again, the reason why like I emphasize this as a coach is a lot of other people, as soon as they get sides, they see a task that they have to do, and they see a checklist of what they have to perform. Checklist of getting the lines right. Checklist of getting their emotional choices right. Checklist of making sure that the stage directions are mapped for exactly what the script is asking for. And every single one of those is a trap.
Yeah.
Because you're applying all these nails driven into something that's supposed to be fluid and free flowing by nature, right? But our fear of needing to do a good job, proving to ourselves, getting the money, whatever it is, our fear of needing to do the good job for whatever that reason is holding us back and now defining the performance for us instead of letting us, the artistic center, tell the story. So the first thing I do is I read it and I have as much fun as possible reading the script.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad writing,
right?
Even if it's a genre I don't care about,
you try to make it interesting.
I'm going to make it interesting as hell because if I want to dedicate like my energy to it, I want to make sure that I'm enjoying the story.
Yeah, you might as well. You're gonna be spending some time on this. Might as well enjoy yourself a little bit.
And how many people out there are reading their lines, reading through the script? I'll start that again. How many people out there are reading the script for the first time? And when you get to your line, you're already playing in your head, oh, how am I going to do it? Maybe I'm going to try it like this. Maybe I'll try it like this. Maybe I'll try it like this. And then you read through a little bit, you get to your next line, you're like, how am I going to do this part? Maybe I'll try it like this. Maybe I'll try it like this. And you start already making decisions.
Yes, I see this all the time. Like you're preloading your tactics.
Yes.
You're like you go into this rehearsed performance where you already know how you're going to say the line, but that's not how it works because if the other person is giving you the line a different way, well, that's going to probably have a different reaction.
You're by definition disconnected.
You're not connected, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, totally. Yeah.
So for people who are doing that, the big self-delving question I would put towards them is, why do you feel the need to do that?
Right.
And then how do you shift that over into the idea of, how do I find enjoyment in reading this as a whole instead? And then there's tons of techniques in there. Right. Anyway, so going back to your question, is I read through it the first handful of times, just having as much fun as possible, even injecting fun in there.
Right.
And every
even if it's like a complete horror, dark story, we'll try to find the.
Oh my gosh!
Yes,
yeah,
I love it
because I want it to be as engaging as hell.
Yes.
If my heart's getting ripped out figuratively, I want to be. Be seeing these characters, and notice I'm not choosing for myself. I'm seeing these characters. One of them happens to be one that I have the privilege to tell the story of. I'm going to see them going through this heart-wrenching thing, like, oh, that's awful. Oh no! And then they said this, and then what happens? Like I'm even getting goosebumps just making up the idea right now.
Just reading it off,
and then reading the stage directions, and then this happens. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to make everything stand out.
Love it.
And and with every new iteration, I want it to have brand new flavors because the first time I read it, I already experienced that version.
Right.
That's done.
Yeah,
I don't need to do it again because then I'm making decisions now, as
Right.
opposed to exploring experiences.
Correct.
Second time through, I'm reading it and I'm doing the same thing. Like, oh, but what if this happens now? What if these words actually mean this thing with my new read? Cool.
Interesting.
And now it goes over this way. I didn't expect that. That's great.
Yeah.
How are they going to react to it now in my head? Like
Right.
this? That's insane. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
So
wow.
every time I'm reading it, I'm already finding this, what I call the shape of the scene, the shape of the story. What sort of texture and movement do we have at the beginning for the energy, including the moment before and all that environment work and blah, blah, blah. What do we have over there? And then what's the first sort of turn we have, which people use
Beats,
like
yeah.
beats or transitions or changes. The word I like using is discovery.
Discovery. Love
Because
it.
discovery requires understanding of your environment and relationship. A beat does not.
Yeah.
So you get a new discovery, which changes it
Love
like
it.
this.
It's
And
a
then
great
it
word,
moves over
actually.
here,
Yeah.
and it takes a brand new thing. And as you go through all these possibilities, you end up finding what the shape of the scene needs to be. It's not the exact design of the scene,
Right.
but it's the shape. It's the amorphous shape where it has to go through a journey that feels like this in order to help the bigger whole.
Interesting.
So by reading through it like this, you're engaging your imagination.
Yeah.
You're engaging, sure, your analytical mind in there, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But more
You're
importantly,
being more spontaneous. Like, you're programming your brain already to start like thinking in the moment.
Yes.
Not knowing how you're gonna deliver it until you're in the moment.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're doing a multi-sensory approach to embodying what that story is.
Interesting.
Before you even start memorizing. But by doing that, you actually are memorizing already.
Yeah.
If you read through it a couple of times
Yeah.
and you feel that roller coaster,
Yeah.
you can immediately tell someone else, and that's the litmus test.
Yeah.
Is if you can read through a scene once, put it down, and then tell someone else that story that you just read,
Yeah.
you're engaging the right part of your brain.
Yes.
If you can read through it once and you can't, guess what? You're probably stuck in the analytics
Yes.
and trying to do a good job, because there's
Call this analysis paralysis.
analysis paralysis, because it's next to impossible to read a script once and then say all the lines back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some
yeah.
people can do it, and I hate them.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Some people can do that. It's very impressive, but it can also trap them too.
Yeah.
So they have to find a way to get past that.
Yeah.
But for most people, if you read through a script once, you cannot say all the lines, and that's normal. But if that's where your brain is dedicating your energy, then you're clearly not going on that story train, and that's where we want you.
Yeah.
So that's my process. Is I
Interesting.
read through it a handful of times.
So that's even
hammering that up.
before like diving into like what, who, where, why, like all that
Nice.
stuff,
I
right?
kind of invented on the way. Like I forgot to mention. Sure, I'll look at the breakdown once just to see rough idea of tone, genre.
Yeah.
Looking at the if we don't know the network or the production company, I'll take a quick look at executive producers and
See their work and stuff.
and writers and directors and see like what sort of tone are we going to be sitting in anyway.
Right.
So I can use that at least as a ballpark of where my shape molding is going to be going anyway. And then I'll look at the breakdown for just facts, not opinions, but facts. Facts are what is the character's job?
Okay.
What is the actual relationship?
Right.
What is any pertinent history events in their life? Those are facts. Things like, oh, they're a fast talker, sunny disposition, an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
Those things, that's subjective.
Subjective, yeah. That's
That's
up to, yeah.
that's just the way that this person happened to be writing the breakdown to try and give the best opinion of what's going on in the scene, because they themselves who are writing the breakdown are also trying to do a good job and not have people, I don't know, fire them or something. So I will take that with a grain of salt, because I'm like, that's your opinion. Maybe I'll play it that way,
Yeah.
but that is not the way that I want to approach it, because I want to see how I'm going to come up with it.
True.
So
Love it, man.
That's what I do, and then after that, it's like I practice that muscle enough that as soon as I read it a couple of times, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Not memorized.
Okay.
No,
So
I'm not
you're
memorized.
not
I'm not
memorized yet.
memorized yet.
Yeah.
But I
you-
know the story.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know the story, and then you've also, you trained your brain to like just be in the moment and come up with these, tactics on the spot.
Yeah.
So, I guess like when do you memorize it? If you do, like, do you just?
So after this point is when I'll start like looking at. I mean, it's kind of like the cold reading approach. First, I'll be looking at the key moments where like these lines really matter, because those ones, it's it's just by the act of even reading it that those ones are standing out beforehand. But those are the lines that'll probably be sticking in my head first.
Okay.
They're the most poignant, right? They carry impact.
What hits you? Yeah.
But after that, that's when maybe I'll start just some like basic by rote repetition or whatever it is. Playing through the scene in your head right before you go to sleep is one that I do a lot, because then you kind of get to sleep on the scene.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say like you were to get an audition tonight. The turnaround is tomorrow 6 p.m. Right. Okay. And then obviously like you don't have all the time in the world to do this, right? So you still go through like just running it.
Always.
Different.
Yep.
And then, sorry, you said that you memorize it through just doing.
Well, I mean, I inadvertently memorize it just through that practice, but I obviously go through the actual memorization phase, which is just reading straight through multiple times, just doing small little chunks here and there or pairs at a time.
So when you read through it, that like during the memorization phase, like you read through it like the same way, or you still try new.
I'm never making decisions because it's
it's very neutral. It's a very neutral read, basically.
Oh, I mean, it's not necessarily neutral. It could be.
Okay. Yeah.
So neutral's fine, but like when I'm reading through it, I still kind of want to have fun with it sometimes.
Of course, yeah.
So I'll just throw a new spin when I'm doing the line this way, and then I'll try it again as an opposite.
Because you're already
Opposites are
reading
always
it,
good,
might as well not waste it. Like you don't want to read to go to waste. Like might as well try something as you're going through it.
And if I want to do it by rote, then I make sure that I'm just looking at a set of lines and then involving myself in some other unrelated task, because this way it's just the mechanics of the words are coming out instead.
Yeah. Interesting.
So it's either exploration or mechanics. Sometimes both.
Love it.
Yeah.
That answers the question pretty well. Now that the only thing left behind is the.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. So let's say the scene is very emotionally heavy.
Yep.
Right. So.
Have fun.
Yes. So like I've heard like different. I mean, I've had like many guests on this before, and I've seen like really polar opposite ways of like doing this and getting there. So I guess like let's say you're doing a scene where your best friend is dying or something similar. Your mother's dying, like a sibling's dying, someone is dying, like something very emotionally heavy that you're going through in the scene. How do you do that? Like how do you like, again, like not saying that you have, like we're never trying to push for tears or anything like that. Again,
so the things that I'll throw out there in general are the ones that I also suggest is when we need to have that heart big and vulnerable and ready to essentially break on camera and be unabated, uncovered, as we're just like, here's my raw, sensitive, emotional side or whatever it is. There's a handful of ways to sort of like prime that and play with it. So some people do music. Some music really just helps trigger them because they have that connection to music.
Right.
Some people do like physical
So
work.
do you do like music before you tape, or like do you?
Or even between takes, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool.
Because the idea is
Because I actually do use music too. Like like it's one of my triggers. Yeah.
and you know, and keep it fresh too. Make sure that you're not always just relying on that same one song. Just because all of a sudden at some point you could hear it. Yeah. But switch it up, and like that's a very nice way to do it for if you happen to be very auditory like that. You can also do like physical things, like getting your body physically worked up and physically worked out. I'm talking about just like push-ups, jogging, moving around. All of a sudden it gets the breathing and the blood and the heart
diaphragmatic,
yeah, and then you're already there because your body is going through essentially like a recovery. And that's almost what like an emotional payload is like too, is dealing with like a trauma recovery at the same time. So you're doing a physiological trick with that one. Another one is just getting your breathing in the right place. That's the one that I tend to use.
Yes, and I've heard that one before a lot, which is crazy. That's something that I'm actively working on.
Yeah,
but
I can help you with it if you want.
Dude, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So the physiological one is how do you get? This is essentially in the same realm as sense memory, and it goes in the same psychological process of if you fake an emotion, your body doesn't really know the difference between real and pretend. That's why the human brain is so fun to play with. So fun to coach. Is it doesn't really know the difference between real and imagined. So if you can get the faking it in the imaginary realm, your body will start believing it, and then it becomes just a slight little nudge to actually put it into the scene. And obviously, like you said, the emotions are not the goal. We're not doing this just so you get to have that tear on camera. And
no one's aiming for that.
That's not the purpose. But the purpose is to see if you can get yourself in that state where you can be in that danger.
Yeah.
So you can get your breathing to that higher register. You can get it a little bit more shallow. You can increase the pace. You can even like make crying faces.
Yeah.
Can help too.
Of course, because like your body is very smart. It's like it knows like if you move your face in a very specific way, it tells your brain like, oh, okay, this is a trigger for me to like, you know.
Absolutely. Just like forcing yourself to smile or laugh releases
dopamine and whatever.
Dopamine and endorphins or I don't remember my hormones anymore. But yeah, it's just faking a smile releases the hormones that you would get if you naturally smiled anyway. So it's like your body can do the work for you easy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and then the sort of last thing. So I do a combination.
So
of
do you use like all of these sort of like together?
Pretty much I do much more physiological. Music doesn't really work for me that way, or at least I haven't found the music that does. But I do those physiological ones, and then I also just allow myself to overcommit and even overact on a first take.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when we're doing things that are heavy emotions, we are scared that it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be real.
Yeah.
And what we end up doing is we carry this huge burden with us,
Right.
this big protective cover that says that, oh, it's okay if I mess up because it's not actually me. I'm not actually committing to it. So I'm not going to mess up big. I'm going to have tiny mess ups just to be safe.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So by forcing yourself to go way too big, you get to have that sloppy take, that overacting take. It's already done.
Yeah. I've never heard that version before. I love that.
Yeah. So now the worst you can do is going to be better than overacting, which you've already gotten out of the way.
Yeah. I agree. I agree because like whenever you always like whenever you like you overact and you do it very big, it's always easier to bring it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
And it's
so
much
easier.
harder to go the other way.
Yes. No, the opposite is always different.
Yep.
What about substitution? Like I don't know if you've heard of that one before. Is that something that you try
I
to?
don't agree with the idea of substitution.
Okay.
So sense memory and substitution are very close to each other in the idea that you're using past experiences to help
To fuel.
create something for your present moment. So sense memory is great. The idea of like we could even do it with you right now. Imagine that it's really cold in here.
Yep.
And imagine that you have the hairs standing up on the edge of your hands
Yep.
and arms on the back of your neck. Imagine that chill that you have going up through your spine as you're getting cold. Imagine how your whole chest feels like it's contracting as it's getting cold.
Yep.
Imagine how your breathing changes when you have that cold air going through.
True.
So as soon as you start playing around with all those things, it becomes very easy to believe that you're cold in here. Like I got chills. I don't know if you did.
Yep.
But just describing that, like I got chills from it.
Yeah.
Just from the idea. There you go. Just from the idea of talking about it.
Yeah.
That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, voicing it sometimes, like just like saying things out loud and then believing them, like oh shit, like it's.
And exactly. And the thing with senses like that is that they're pretty much always true. When you get burned, it burns.
Yep.
When it's cold, it's cold. When you're feeling sick, you get the feeling of drowsiness and stuffed head. When you're getting the tired of fatigue or joy, those things are almost always true. The problem with substitution is, in my opinion, it's threefold. One is that your creative work should be separate from your past life. Actually, that's kind of the foundation for it. And quickly delving into why is, number one, a lot of times people are worried about crying on camera. So they're like, when was I crying in real life?
Right.
And that's a wound that you, as Ali, have already dealt with, processed, scarred it over, maybe it's still bleeding a bit. And then we're saying, do it on camera, and you go to that thing and you rip it open again. And guess what happens when you start ripping open a wound over and over?
Yeah, you walk out of set still thinking about that stuff.
So you have to heal it again, and then every time that heals, guess what? It actually is probably developing thicker tissue.
Yeah.
You're changing the shape of it because you're literally changing your memory of it because you're ripping that open and throwing it to somewhere where it doesn't belong in a scene.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what happens is it also develops more protection around it. So soon, all of a sudden, I say, hey, we need you to cry again. You're like, oh yeah, this worked for me in the past. And you're going to hear this from tons of people who practice it.
Yeah, yeah.
All of a sudden, it doesn't work anymore. So what do they do next? They move to the next wound that they can rip open. Do you see what I mean?
It's torture. You're torturing yourself.
Psychological torture is number one.
Yeah.
Number two is 9 times out of 10, whatever you're trying to create didn't exactly happen in what the scene requires. It's something that's close enough.
Yeah.
So you're not being true to the story.
Yep.
And I forgot what number 3 was, but those are the two biggies right there.
No, 100%. And also, like, I mean, when you also do think about it, it's also very hard to execute. Like, it's very hard to put together because, sometimes you're in a scene, and then that part that you're supposed to hit, like, that big.
I just remember number 3.
That big discovery.
I think you're saying it right now. Yes.
That big discovery where you're like, like your friend dies. maybe your brother doesn't die right from the beginning. Like maybe you're like at a party and then you're enjoying yourself and you're all smiley and you have all the energy and then boom, this happens. So like you gotta substitute it like real quick, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easier when like it's starting because you could like you can prep it out and then and then when the person press record, like you're already crying. But that's if the scene starts like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
what if you're starting like and then like, you're at a party and something is going on, like you know what I mean?
And I don't know enough about substitution, if it's supposed to be the idea where it sort of primes you before the scene goes, or if it's supposed to be something that you drag in right away. But if it's dragging in right away, that's probably the most dangerous way to do it, because now, I mean, for a handful of reasons, but one of them is the tool or the technique itself should never be the actual performance.
Yep.
So when you're doing a scene, you shouldn't be activating Meisner mode just for repetition.
Yeah.
If you're getting to an emotionally poignant moment, you shouldn't be activating substitution, because as soon as you're even recognizing that the moment's coming up, you're already out of the scene.
Yes, exactly. You should never know when it's going to come up.
Exactly.
It's all like discovering in the moment it's going to happen. You don't even know what you're going to say and how you're going to react.
Exactly. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
And as soon as you think you're employing a tool, guess what? You're thinking as
You're in
the
your head.
performer and not the the character. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Totally.
the
That's so
number
well
three
said.
is like all those different reasons is it by definition will take you out. But I think most importantly of all these things, psychological and mental health aside, most importantly of all these things is you are not training the one tool that you're supposed to be using as a creator, which is your imagination.
Your imagination.
Your imagination is limitless. You have an infinite number of possibilities you can create with your imagination.
Crazy, yeah.
You have a very tiny, finite amount of your own events and memories that you can draw off of. So the imagination is what we want to build, because then you're unstoppable.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So those are my thoughts on substitution.
No. I agree with you. Like, it's not my most preferred method, but like maybe not the worst. But I've used it before. It's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It's kind of a hit or miss with me, because like sometimes I'm like, okay, in rehearsal, like it was working, it's great, but then I get to the actual take and I try to use that substitution, but like it's just I overused it.
Yep.
And
that's exactly what I'm talking about. That wound getting tired.
Yeah. So I mean,
So the idea of substitution, I would say there probably could be some merit in it when it comes to just very softer examples like, falling in love.
Yeah.
Or, having a really good friend, or, just feeling disappointment or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But in the end, that's still putting it closer to sense memory than it is actually substitution. So, yeah, for the people who do it, great.
Yeah.
If it works for you, great. Just be careful.
Yeah.
And keep that mental health strong. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, what do you think the actors do that sabotage their acting careers? Like, what are they doing wrong that you see like very often? I guess like
I
guess
be
as a
more
coach.
Specific, though.
Sorry.
I feel like you kind of have to be more specific.
Yeah,
though.
no, I will. Yeah. So, like when an actor is not landing, they're not getting callbacks. They're not. Maybe sometimes they might not even getting seen enough in auditions.
Yes.
What is the number one thing that you see people are doing wrong?
The number one thing that I see people doing wrong is not training.
Right. They should always be training at all times. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like stop going to the gym when you're trying to get fit.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I'm not saying this because I'm a coach. I'm saying this because I believe it. I think everyone should have a coach. I have a coach. Right? I can't work on myself. I can't see what I'm doing without like having to record something, play it back, and then make sure that I'm out of the headspace and then go back into it. That's insane.
Right.
Everyone should have a coach. Everyone should always be training. Because
what if financials is an issue for that person? Let's say like they want to be training, but they, because acting classes are expensive. Let's be honest. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
But there's nothing stopping you from pushing your own development.
True.
Most of the development work that I got was with just like a friend of mine, like Kenny Wong. I'm talking about him again.
Yeah.
He and I, when we would record self-tapes, we weren't doing it just to record the self-tape. We were having fun seeing how much we could push the boundaries.
Right.
Trying different directions altogether. So we were doing that for all the different self-tapes, not for the point of the audition, but for the point of workshopping, scene work.
Yeah.
And apart from
experimenting, for fun,
apart from time, that's free.
Yeah.
Financials are not an issue if you want to keep developing.
100%.
And if anything, you should have a group of friends that are your self-tape buddies that you can always
get together.
You always reach out
say
to,
that too,
and and you offer the same options back, where it's like hey, if you can help me with the self-tape, I'd love to help you with your self-tape. And then you get this group who's just doing it for each other.
Yeah, totally. I say that too. There's a lot of ways to actually get involved. There's like, community theater, right? Which, you can audition for that. Yep. There's a lot of ways to actually like, get creative and like,
Yeah, but you're talking about like community theater, you still have to wait for the theater to be presenting a play and hold auditions and you have to do the auditions.
Yeah.
But just on your own and just for free, you can record scenes. There's an infinite number online.
True.
And you can test it out and
give each other's feedback, you and your buddies, yeah.
Yeah, and the amount of people I see who don't know how to properly shoot their own self-tape yet, I find it a bit shocking.
It is, yeah.
Because we've been in self-tape land since 2020.
Yeah, and like, I mean...
And a large number of people still don't know how to frame properly.
Yeah.
They don't know how to work their eye lines.
Yeah.
And this is something you can look up online.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it's something you can do yourself.
But it's not only that, I mean, like, you can also, like, look at the tape, right?
That's what I mean.
Like, look at the tape, right? And look at your eye lines. Like, do you believe that you're actually looking at a person at eye level, or you don't?
Yeah.
If you don't, then the person who's going to watch is probably not going to believe it either.
Exactly.
Right? So, like, you like, it's all about, like, watching the tape and asking, like, yourself, do you believe yourself in the moment? If you don't believe yourself, then no one's going to believe you.
And that's absolutely true. But that's also if you're able to take a step back from watching yourself, because a lot of people go through that thing of they start watching themselves and like, oh no, look at my hair, look at my face. Oh, why did I say that?
I used to be like that too, man, a lot.
Oh, same, yeah.
I used to be like, I have like OCD, man. I guess something.
Yeah, and now it's just like I sort of watch and I'm like, yeah, hey, slurred a bit there. Meh, whatever. They understand it enough.
Yeah.
Is the story coming across? Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that. So for those people who find it difficult to watch themselves and see it objectively like that, maybe it's the engineering brain.
Yeah, maybe it is what it is. Yeah, we're too we're too analytical, bro. Yeah.
For those other people, get other people to watch it.
Yeah.
Get other people accountable for it as opposed to just yourself. So the resources are there.
Yeah.
They are there to just push your own craft. So the number one thing I see is literally just, I'll call it laziness.
Yeah.
They're not developing themselves. They're not challenging their understanding of technology. Self-tapes are how you're going to be seen.
Yeah.
Make sure you know
Might
how
as well
to,
just master it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can do it as long as you have something that can record video and sound.
Yeah.
You can shoot a good looking
Even your
self-tape.
camera's fine. Yeah. I mean,
Your phone.
Just your phone. Plug in like a Rode mic, like that costs $20, Best Buy or something. Get decent lighting, or if you don't have lighting, at least stand by a window. Make sure that your face is showing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of ways you can do that.
A lot of people have lamps.
Yeah, lamps.
Yeah.
Not the best. Like you want to get something like that at some point. If you
Ideally, you want softboxes, but I mean, if we're talking about literally zero budget, we're assuming wherever you're living has some sort of lamp.
Yeah.
Use it.
Yeah.
My first self-tape setup for 4 years was I would move 3 lamps that I had in different rooms.
Make sure that they're shining at your face.
Attach them together and
crazy.
Yeah. At some point I used
doesn't get more creative than that. Like
I used tin foil at some point to create a dome to make it more focused on me.
Oh my gosh, damn! Okay, I did not do that. Tinfoil stuff.
That's what I did.
I love it. Okay, so, okay, so like, I mean, this is all good stuff. Like I've been hearing you like talk about all that, and this is really good. So I guess like, where is this all heading? Like, where is Alex going with all of this? Like, as far as like
filmmaking.
Acting? So filmmaking is like the
filmmaking.
Like, is that where you see yourself? That's kind of the. I guess there's no end goal from what I understand.
I love the. So I mean, no, it's a great question. The end goal for me really is to be making enough money that I can support myself solely on acting, so I get to focus more on acting.
Right.
And with that, I want to be doing my own productions of some sort.
Right.
So like feature films, probably feature films over TV series. TV series are just too much red tape. But the idea that I could be involved in like creating feature films. I don't necessarily want to direct. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
I don't want to edit because I've been doing editing for far too long.
I'm not doing that either. Fuck no.
Yeah, way too many years I've been doing editing. But I'll be more than happy to breathe down an editor's neck to make sure that the story's coming through.
Right. Yeah. Be bugging them like behind the screen, like, cut that. Like,
well, yeah, it's mostly just because like I care about the pacing.
Right.
The pacing has to keep driving the narrative and keep the audience's heartbeat in sync. And if it starts lagging, we don't want any arrhythmias in our story work, right?
Right. Yeah. Love it. Filmmaking.
Yeah.
So I guess like even as a filmmaker, like would you always still consider being an actor? Like would you still be acting, or would you would you ever stop doing that?
No, I mean, I love creating. I love the idea of acting.
Yeah.
If I end up producing and directing a film, I don't think I want to act in it too, because that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, too much to handle.
And some people can do it.
Yeah, a lot of
people
people
can.
do. Yeah, a lot of people do.
It's a lot of work, a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I'm still having fun.
Right, for sure. Yeah, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Yes.
100%. Cool. Before we wrap this up, is there anything that you want to share with us as far as things that you're working on, things that are in the works, something that we should be, looking forward to in a nearby future?
When's this released?
Probably in a couple of months, man. I would say
couple months. Okay.
And I would say also, like, I do want to mention though, like, if you feel like you want to talk about it, and then you feel like later on, like, hey, dude, like, let me just cut this part. You can just let me know. This will be edited. Like, we're not. It's not live TV.
So like, I can't talk about it now anyway. But when it's released, you'll see. Like,
yeah,
I
just no name. Yeah.
I have a video game that's coming up. I don't have a huge part, but it's one that I was
Is it a
so
big,
excited
is it a
to
big
be
one?
part of. It's a big one.
Wow.
So
okay.
excited to be part of it, and the announcement for it comes out in just a couple weeks. So when this comes out, it'll already be notified. But that was.
Yeah, no, this should
that
air
was
after the video game, so you should be fine.
Yeah, that was a multi-year journey.
Wow.
And it's I'm really excited to have that coming out. So
Nice.
that's coming up. Also, as we advertised on Instagram, Maxine,
Yeah, I saw that.
Alessandro Russati, and I wrote a feature film.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
I
thriller
did not see that.
horror feature.
I thought I saw something like that.
That's when we went to LA together.
Yes, I was gonna touch on that. Yeah, what were you guys there for? Yeah,
We went there to pitch this feature film,
interesting.
and
Nice.
we
So do like producers in LA and all that? Like
there was something called the American Film Market, which is where a lot of distributors, sales reps, acquisition producers. I can't even remember all the languages that I learned in that week, because that was a lot to learn, and I learned a lot. So we went there to go to that market for film to sort of pitch it to see if we get any interest or at least
traction,
any leads.
yeah.
And we got some interest. We got some leads.
Wow.
We know our next steps, and
let's go.
and if things go really well, we're hoping.
I don't want to jinx it, but it's exciting. It's exciting.
If things are going really well, and we're going to be making this happen no matter what.
Right.
Because we're
with or without them.
with or without them, because we are filmmakers. We know how to make compelling stories,
Right.
and we know how to make them look good and sound
Right.
good. We
Right.
already know all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because of our experience. So regardless, we are going to be shooting it.
Right.
We would just like to have financial backing to make it easier.
Right.
But
Make it better too.
But that's the main focus right now.
Yeah.
And
amazing. Yeah.
Another tiny focus is actually, we'll see if it happens. It's something I hope will happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have the time resources for it.
Right.
But we were talking about it before, about how hard it can be just to get someone to read with you
Oh my
for an
goodness,
audition.
dude. It's something that's so lacking in Montreal.
So
It's annoying. Like,
one of my projects that's slowly coming up the list of things that I'm knocking off, so it actually gets to come up, is building a community service that just allows people to get together to just do self-tapes.
Love it.
So
Sign me up.
yeah, and obviously it's going to have all those other services out there, like Bean Duck, who offers
Yep. Heard of it.
self-taping. Yeah,
Yeah, and then
So-
the reels too and stuff, right? Like other things too.
yeah. There's a handful of ones out there. I'm sorry if I can't mention any other ones, but Bean Duck's the only one I can think of right now, where they offer like full professional suite of lighting, sound, camera edits. They have a reader. I think they do directions in there too. So I want to have like professional services and even just like amateur services where people can just they can find a convenient place of doing that and get the stress. Any way that we can remove the stress of auditioning, I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this city,
So you can focus on the work.
yeah, focus on the work, because this city has such huge untapped potential that so many large production companies don't see, because they just don't get the correct exposure to it. So I think helping all these grassroots in different ways is going to be fantastic, and I think this is one of those nice big floodgates that'll help it out.
Yeah. No.
So that's something I really want to do it. I've already been looking into it for about 4 or 5 years. Actually longer, about 7 years now.
Oh.
I've been looking into it for about 7 years, but I got enough things out of the way that
maybe we'll squeeze it in sometime. Yeah.
we'll see. Or if people want to collab on that, especially if they have some sort of financial backing.
Yes,
or,
for sure. We'll get them
or
on.
like good web coding experience, because I can do the bare minimum.
I mean, my coding abilities are very limited. Like I know like how to do like basic stuff, but
Yeah,
like
I'm strong in
beyond that, like it's just
I'm strong in JavaScript. I can barely handle a website. Thanks AI for most of it, honestly.
yeah, literally. Before we wrap this up, actually, you did mention something I forgot to touch on, which is the city.
The city.
Which is Montreal. I forgot to actually talk about that.
Yes.
But so where do you see like Montreal in the entertainment industry? Like, do you feel like we get enough here, opportunities, and like, do you think like we're gonna be getting more projects? Like, how busy is the city gonna be? Or
So, at least from my experience and perspective, Montreal is still looking to get back its golden days, which it had like maybe 20, 30 years ago.
because I mean, I've never actually experienced that life in Montreal, so I have literally no idea what the city is like.
I mean, a lot of people haven't, and the
Yeah.
ones who do, you can ask them about it. It was pretty much like the Hollywood of the East Coast.
Really?
So,
Okay.
Well, I mean, especially
Exclude-
compared to today.
if we
yes.
exclude French productions, because obviously that's like a
Yes.
whole other industry.
I'm talking about just English.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So there was a lot of work for actors back in the day. I don't really remember the history of it, but it became much more inaccessible. Productions weren't coming here as much. And at least from my perspective, it seems like every year or so, we keep on getting the influx that wants to shoot here, but it just doesn't quite take hold.
Right.
So there's always baby steps.
What do you think
that
is
are being
is the problem? What do you think is the issue?
Oh man, there are
Do
so.
you think the weather is the big factor?
I don't know. I don't think that's a big factor.
No. Okay. Yeah. Just. Yeah.
I mean, like one statistical factor is just straight up studio space. If you compare the amount of studio spaces in Montreal compared to Toronto,
yeah.
hands down, Toronto has more.
Right. That makes sense.
And that makes it harder for people to book in here, especially sometimes people go in and they book in advance, whether or not they commit to it, but they already paid for the space.
Yeah.
So other projects that wanted to shoot, they
yeah.
have to look elsewhere,
That's
and then this
crazy.
one withdraws.
And then, they
and
get turned off, and then.
But
yeah.
this one had already moved somewhere else. So that's the one, like literal logistic one, is the amount of space.
So, like it seems to me like we have like an infrastructure problem. Like we need more.
Yes, we absolutely do. But then there's also other things that it has, and this is where I honestly just don't know enough. But it has to do with more like politics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things in the way where it's just not as accessible as it used to be. But I
Right.
mean,
Is it because we want to like protect French as a thing? We don't want to turn it into that sort of like.
that might be part of it. Once again, I don't know enough about it, but I do know that at least an actor of the union, the one that that represents like English speakers in Canada, they are always working tooth and nail because the people who are on like council and running all the committees and everything, they're pretty much all actors as well. They all want the same thing that they're fighting for, and they're all fighting for how do we make more opportunities and make it more accessible. So like the Montreal branch, I'm telling you, is working tooth and nail to try and bring back those days and make it more accessible. And they're approaching it from all these different fronts. They're way smarter about it than I am too.
No, I mean, I think I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's also the reason why I did move in the first place. Because just like when I did my research back in 2018, and having spoken to a lot of, not a lot, but like, a couple actors that were in the city that were already auditioning, and they said like, I'm not getting seen enough and stuff. So I was like, oh.
But that then goes into
that kind of deterred me a little bit.
Right, but that goes into the other thing, and I talk about actors who are talking about always moving other places. I know many actors who come from Montreal, and then they move to Toronto, and then they're like, oh, but I'm not getting seen over here. Where I really need to be is Vancouver. And then they move to Vancouver, and they're like, oh, I'm not really getting seen over here. Where I really need to be is LA. And then they try to move to LA, and they're like, I'm not really getting seen over here. And then they start
Stop
booking,
working anywhere.
and they start booking in Montreal. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, change of atmosphere can help out. It can help out psychologically. It can help out with opportunities. But the problem is, if you are not at a competitive level already,
it doesn't matter.
It kind of makes more sense to start in the place that gives you more opportunity for people. More opportunity for less competition.
Right. No, I agree.
And that's why I suggest to everyone who's actually already in Montreal already.
Yeah.
Be in Montreal. Keep training nonstop.
Yep.
Because when you're training, you're also networking. And as we said before this started recording, networking is one of the main factors.
It's key. It's key in life, not just in that field.
Absolutely.
In anything.
And so many actors don't want to go to any of the networking events out there.
That blows my mind, man.
Train.
That's
it's like
crazy.
You need to take your craft seriously in order to push it forward, and the only one responsible for it is not your agent. If you and if you don't have an agent, regardless, it is you. You are the only one who can do that. So network. Actra has a bunch of free networking events open to the general public.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Totally. It's only when you invest in yourself that people will invest in you.
And you have to take yourself seriously and push yourself to do that. So network, train. And then what ends up happening is you end up becoming even more competitive in that competitive pool, which is a smaller pool anyway. So you get to shine brighter and faster if you are pushing yourself.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you are in Montreal, like, you're a resident.
Yep.
What's that?
My tummy was talking. Don't have a top.
No, I mean, like, also, like, we all know that, like, like very often, even if you do move to Vancouver, Toronto, like LA, all that stuff, you need to be a resident for them to even consider you sometimes for roles. So like by being
sometimes,
like I mean that's a problem I was facing a lot too, like in the beginning, where I had to let go of all my identifications from Quebec and get BC IDs, or else they would not even see me. They're like, oh, okay, we cannot see you. Are you in Quebec or are you here? Because you need to make up your mind, right? So that's also a big thing, because a lot of the castings here and like a lot of the production, they're trying to encourage like local. They want to hire local just so they can like give them a chance and like encourage people to stay here and then work. I'm guessing, right? So that's also a big thing. Like if you go to LA and you have no way to work, if you go to Vancouver, you don't have your IDs, you haven't paid taxes there. Like it's you're gonna get there at some point, but it'll take a lot longer than if you were to just like try and
spend that exact same amount of financial and energy resource where you currently are. Than you would have spent with the exponentially increasing rent prices for each of those cities that are listed.
And like I mean, like Montreal, like I'm gonna be honest, man. Like it's one of the most affordable cities. Like excluding
comparatively, absolutely.
Like if we exclude Calgary, which is like really really affordable, like Montreal is by far one of the most affordable city to live. I mean, you probably know like more than anyone how expensive Toronto and Vancouver are, man. Like when it comes to like. LA is, I live in even New York. LA is even more like it's So I mean, like when you put all that together, like Montreal is actually not so bad. Like
and then if you think about it, going back to that idea of acting classes being expensive. Imagine the amount of money you're saving by not living somewhere else.
Yeah, you would have put that money on rent anyway.
What if you put it towards an acting class instead?
Straight up.
Or a voice class.
True.
Or learning learning martial arts.
Yeah.
Or
stunts,
singing.
whatever, anything. Yeah.
Literally anything to make you a more competitive and more rounded performer.
I agree. Amazing, man, amazing. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Alex. So that wraps up our episode for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you guys in the next one.